What's going on, guys? I'm Jay the Black. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in. Make sure y'all like this video and share it, because I'm going to share a very sad story of a man who I believe was a single dad of two young girls who lost his life trying to protect and look after a woman while she was going through a bad divorce from her older husband. You know, this is why I make commentary. This is why I make videos, okay? I make videos because I want men to see the world for what it is, not to see the world for what they want you to see it for. This man is 44 years old. He's an amateur boxer. As a matter of fact, he had a fight scheduled in Colombia on August 6th. Decided that after knowing a woman for less than a week, maybe, he decides that he wants to accompany her to a divorce proceeding with her husband, or ex-husband, a guy that she married when she was 19, and they were married for 9 years. So you do the math. And he was 51 when they married, and he was 61 when he took the life of this man and took his own. Now, they haven't released any names of the woman and the husband. Maybe they will. I don't think they will, even though they should, because we're all here because of that woman. If she never would have asked him to help her, because that's what happened, this wouldn't have happened. But I want y'all to understand something about this whole situation. In our society, we have a culture that tells us as men we need to defend women in need, women who need help, even if we don't know them. We're supposed to be the good Samaritan. This man, his name is Maurenzo Smith. He decided that he wanted to basically help her. Now, the police and certain reports are saying that he was romantically involved with this woman, but his family denies it. His family says that he barely knows her, but that makes this situation even worse, because you did not know this woman, but you decide to go and meet with her ex, who was already upset and in his feelings. You got this elderly man who's divorcing his younger wife, so he's already feeling some type of way, and you have this guy showing up with her at this seafood restaurant. Now, if she really needed protection, she could have gotten a police maybe involved, have somebody there just to make sure things good. She could have hired private security, right? She could have a bodyguard or whatnot professionally. She could have went to the lawyer's office. But you meet your ex-husband at a seafood restaurant. Maybe it was his idea because he brought the divorce papers. But it seems to me that this elderly man could not take the fact that not only was his wife, he was divorcing his wife. Now, maybe he initiated it, but the fact that he did what he did lets me know this guy was heartbroken. He sees this brother sitting there or standing there with his ex. I'm pretty sure that pushed him over the edge. I am sure that pushed him over the edge. They have this 20-minute conversation. He storms out. He goes and gets that medal, and then he comes back and takes this man's life. And then he ends up leaving. The wife got away. See, that's what makes this whole story even sadder, is that this man was there to protect a woman, but he ended up not only losing his life, the woman got away. And this elderly, bitter man is just firing away, takes this guy. He tried to take her out, but she couldn't. She got out of there. She got completely out of there. And I think once he realized that he was probably going to go to prison forever or for the rest of his life, he ended up taking his own life. He failed not only in divorcing his wife, but he failed trying to take her life. Now, not only is she going to take his money, she's going to go on with her life. And the fact that the police won't even release names says a lot about this situation. And the people who are going to be hurt the most is this man's family. This man's family is going to be hurt the most by what happened. He should have never been in this situation. And unfortunately, in this situation, everybody had a part to play somewhat. She telling this man that she doesn't know all her business about her husband, ex-husband, to the point to where, he accepts the opportunity to be a help to her. He accepts it. She offers it. He accepts it. Then you have the ex-husband who's already in his emotions. You marry a girl that was 19 and you really thought that she was going to stay with you forever. That elder simp energy just could not take the fact that he was divorcing her, and she probably wanted a good amount from him because he was driving a Maserati, so I don't think he's broke. Ultimately, not only is his life falls apart, marriage falls apart, he ends up taking his own life because he was such a coward. That simp energy got the better of him. That elder simp energy, which could be the worst. Let's get into this article. This is from the Daily Star. It says an amateur boxer lost his life after taking a woman believed to be his girlfriend to meet with her estranged husband to discuss their divorce. Maurenzo Tuffy Smith, who was 44, had accompanied the unnamed 28-year-old woman to a seafood restaurant where she met her 61-year-old husband, who is yet to be named. I want to know if they're going to release names. They need to, because the family needs some sort of closure. You can't just put this in a file and put it away forever, because there are more questions than there are answers. While the unnamed pair discussed their divorce proceedings, the separated spouses are said to have bubbled over with frustration after 20 minutes, with an argument breaking out between the pair. At this point, the husband is said to have left the restaurant, returned with a weapon, and fire off 13 rounds while inside the Crab Station Oyster Bar. Smith was struck and ultimately lost his life after getting hit multiple times, although the 61-year-old didn't manage to bump off his wife, who escaped the ordeal physically unscathed. The husband is said to have fled the restaurant soon after the incident, hopping into his Maserati. Where he ended himself with a shot to the head. A representative for Harris County Sheriff's Office, Major Susan Carter, said when he returned, he struck the male she was with multiple times. He attempted to strike her, but he missed. See, he can't get nothing right. Couldn't get his marriage right. Couldn't get his target right. The Houston cops responded to the event, managed to catch up to the husband, who had sped away from the scene in a Maserati sports car. So again, the guy wasn't broke. He was a rich simp. Officers were able to stop the 61-year-old, who subsequently exited the vehicle and proceeded to off himself. See, that's Maurenzo and his 2 children. He was a single dad. This man had a lot to live for. One decision destroyed his family. The man was taken to Houston Northwest Hospital in critical condition, is not expected to survive the wounds sustained, of course. The unnamed pair have been married for 9 years prior to the incident. So again, y'all do the math. She's 28 and had no children together, according to a report from the sheriff's office. Let me tell you older men something, man. Just because you got some money and you marry a younger woman doesn't mean she's going to stay with you, man. Now, I don't know what her intentions was to bring this guy there, but it could have been because she needed protection, but you were in a public setting. You weren't going to his house. A part of me believes she brought him there to intimidate her husband, her ex-husband, and to sort of have this guy there, a guy who's younger than him, obviously, who's in shape, right? He's a professional, well, he's an amateur boxer. And that's what I think made things even more contentious. She could have met this man at a lawyer's office. She could have met him where there was some security there, but she met at a restaurant. She met at a restaurant. And now this whole thing has completely fallen apart. As I said, I feel very badly for his family, his children, and they're gonna be the children are gonna be without a father. Now, I read a report where they said that he was raising 4 children, but only 2 of them were his. I saw that in a report. I'm not sure if that's 100% correct, but ultimately, this man should have never lost his life, right? And so let me get some additional information. This is according to the Daily Mail. It said that a witness, Kathy Smith, said that she and her daughter were about to walk into the restaurant for lunch when Smith was struck. She told KHOU 11, and I'm like, oh bleep, I said somebody got struck. So when we came back around, the guy was already lying on the floor, deceased. Smith says she and her daughter would more than likely not return to the restaurant. I could assume they wouldn't want to. It says only 5 or 6 other people were present at the time of the incident, including employees, and all besides Smith left unharmed. Relatives were shocked and recounted Smith's charming personality, calling him a very loving, kind guy. Smith's sister Ida said he was always trying to help, and eventually that would end up with him in this situation. A relative said Smith and the woman had only met last Friday, and they insisted that he was not romantically involved with her, although other outlets in the Harris County Sheriff's Department described them as a couple. Let me say this about this too. I understand what the family is saying. I understand they're saying that, there was no relationship. But if the police department is saying that there is, it's probably because they have information from the woman that says otherwise. So I can understand that the family is saying, nah, that's not true. But if the police department have spoken to that other woman, and that woman is relaying that information to them, that's what they're going to go with. I don't think they would put that out there if it was false. I don't think they would put that out there if that was false. So I understand what the family is saying, but the police wouldn't just throw that out there if that wasn't true. Now, again, it could be a total fabrication, but we're talking about the police department who is in charge of this. Well, it's not really an investigation, but it's in charge of this particular situation. And they're saying it, and they haven't changed it. There was no relationship of any kind as far as boyfriend and girlfriend, said Carter. Well, they probably weren't boyfriend and girlfriend. It could have been more of a situationship. It could be they could have met, I saw on his Instagram that I believe he was a certified personal trainer. So maybe he was training her, or maybe she hired him to train. I mean, it could be one of those situations too. And just maybe they just started out sort of getting to know each other process, but they hadn't really gotten to a relationship like that. The boxer's father said his son was just trying to protect somebody. That's not his job. It shouldn't have been him. The father told KHOU 11, it happened. It's ugly. We have to stop all these incidences. Carter said Smith was an innocent bystander and was just trying to help. Smith was a heavyweight boxer who was due to fight in Colombia just next week, with one relative even calling him a celebrity. My brother was a celebrity boxer here from Houston, Texas, born and raised here in Houston. Sharice, another of Smith's sisters. He was always looking to improve, said Smith's daughter. So is it Sarah or Sarah? I think it's pronounce her name, Sarah. Whether it was for leadership, working out, or just becoming a better man or better father, she said. Carter also said she was shocked when her younger brother decided that he wanted to be a boxer, telling ABC 13, "It tripped me out when he wanted to be a fighter. I said, bro, how are you going to be a fighter and you so soft?" Maybe that's why he wants to be a boxer. You know, maybe he feels like he needs to toughen himself up. Now, Sharice says Smith lost his wife a couple of years ago along with their mother. "Now we have lost our brother," she said. Smith's family started a GoFundMe to help cover funeral costs. It has so far raised $465 of his $50,000 goal. Okay, well, let's change that. If any of y'all want to donate to his GoFundMe, there it is. I'll put a link to it in the description box. If y'all want to go and help out, you can. All right. This story is sad, man. It is. This man had a lot to live for. He was raising children. He was a widower. This guy was a widower. And now he's no longer here. Ultimately, man, if this is one thing that you should understand in our society, you can't help everybody. You just can't. So let me say in the comment section, let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rest easy to Maurenzo, and I'll see y'all on the next one.